Hey again, everyone, and thank you for joining us on
DodgyBox Podcast.
And we're going to be talking about scary things. Do we want to start talking about spooky, scary stuff?
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Send shivers down my spine.
We're singing, aren't we?
So, yeah, I didn't really have any agenda. I just was going to think about talking about scary things. I'm scared of death. What? What did you say?
Probably a fairly sensible thing to be scared of.
Yeah, I mean, I mean it quite literally as well, because a lot of people kind of like can embrace that kind of knowledge. But that's why a lot of these immortal character fantasies kind of scream out to me. It's kind of wish fulfillment.
Doesn't everyone in some sort of way have a fear of death?
Yeah, it's pretty universal. It's one of those ones, but like, you know, some people don't like seeing it and some people, you know, scared about the outcome. It's the idea of things ending.
Mm.
I suppose it's also a fear of change, you know? Yeah. But no, to be less abstract, things that scare you. What you got? Kim, you must have a list a mile long.
Yes.
The main one for me being zombies.
The zombies that scare you, is that a gore thing, or is it because of the idea that it's people you know?
It's kind of a mixture of things. It's the idea of that it's a unrelenting force that will hunt you and track you down no matter where you are, because they'll never stop, and the whole being eaten alive thing.
And being eaten alive, though, that's a fear. God,
But unfortunately, it also ties into, as we saw with the films, the whole moral dilemma, which is why I was like, despite the fact that they scared the shit out of me, I still watched or read The Walking Dead just because it was really interesting moral dilemmas constantly.
Yeah, I mean, Walking Dead goes through the motions, doesn't it? I think you pretty much see everything that's zombified in that show.
And it's the whole sort of, what would you do in this situation? What, you know, were the characters justified even if whatever they had to do was fucking horrendous?
I always feel like zombie films are more psychological thriller stuff. Like when it comes to horror, they're more, you know, putting people in an apt scenario, and then the zombies get, you know, kind of desensitized as it goes along.
I mean, has anyone seen that zombie film where there's that quite hot zombie guy and the
Warm Bodies.
He's in love with this girl?
Warm Bodies.
And it's actually his actual brain is coming back.
Yeah, Warm Bodies. It's basically the Twilight of zombie films. That's more of a parody film, though, to be fair.
Man, that film's great.
I mean, he was so hot as a zombie, but when he becomes real again, he's really not that hot. It's very strange.
He lost his appeal when he wasn't brain eating anymore.
He did.
Mate, he wasn't the star of that film for me. It was totally like the other workman one that was his friend.
His best friend.
His was the real story of that.
I can't tell you the amount of times I've been standing at any place I've worked since I've been an adult and thought, right, if there was a zompox right now, what would I do?
Oh, I've got that at my work as well.
Do you often fantasize about zombie apocalypses?
Only to somehow punish myself, I guess, because it just puts me on edge.
I know Chris was like saying, "Oh well, people." I was like, "That's a different kind of fear."
Well, I've got quite a weird phobia of like being in like a party and stuff. That's just due to my anxiety, though.
I hate parties.
I don't know about.
That's due to bad anxiety.
I don't know about anxiety being a thing for fear. I mean, it's uncomfort, isn't it? I guess it's the same thing. Being
I can't
uncomfortable.
describe it.
It's being uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yeah. But I still get the whole heart beating really fast and the shivers and all that jazz.
You're more uncomfortable in a social situation than you are watching people's flesh being ripped off.
Yes.
Wow.
In a nutshell.
Going back to Kim's point about kind of imagining yourself in these scenarios, I feel like I vaguely have something similar, but it's not like zombies. I kind of have this thing where I imagine like we're in like a post-apocalyptic kind of scenario coming up, like before it happens, but you know it's happening. Say like there's a meteor about to crash into the Earth or something and stuff like that. But I always have this thing where I imagine like for some reason I'm the person they've selected and I have to make decisions about who's going to live and die.
Is that a fantasy or fear?
I don't know.
Because
That's an interesting point.
definitely the fear, like the fear of the end of days is something I get. It's the world ending kind of thing. That doesn't really bother me. I don't know. I wouldn't mind living in a post-apocalyptic world.
Sometimes I'll be like walking down the street and I'll be like, man, if we are in a post-apocalyptic world, I feel I could kill that person.
Woof. Woof.
If I needed to.
If the finger called for it.
Wow. I really hope you don't think that about me.
No, he wouldn't kill you, of course.
Hey, if I turn into a zombie, he's not even allowed to kill me then.
It's fine. You can get. It's fine. You're safe. You've got a spot on the rocket.
Yay!
Yeah, you weren't talking necessarily about zombies, but like what if you had child of man situation, I guess, or bomb, fallout.
It's like it's the idea of having like the limited space on like the rocket and like you have to make decisions.
Oh, that's the Titanic dilemma, I guess it is.
Yeah,
Who gets to sit on the door?
Who gets the door and who gets the diamond?
It's almost like the start of Fallout, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the bunker.
So Ben definitely would kill to survive. That's what he's saying.
Well, point across. Me and Kim both agree that if Battle Royale was ever happened, we would kill each other as painlessly as possible at the beginning because we have no chance.
You wouldn't mind
I
killing
think-
people.
I'm not. No, that's fine. I'm not a violent man, but I'm going to kill a bitch if I have to.
Not a violent
No,
man, he says.
I'm well aware that in any sort of aggressive scenario, I'm probably not going to win, so I'd just rather go out painlessly.
I mean, to be fair, I'm relatively frightened by conflict.
I don't think I could ever do that.
But I feel like if my life was at hand, that would somewhat diminish that.
Say, I would be more scared of dying than I would be of living in a horrible situation. I think that's just me, like, that's what I say. Like, I think I'd prioritize death over those situations. Other things I find scary. I find the idea of being like in space scary.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I like the idea of being in space.
Well, it's more that you're surrounded by a void. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
Like,
what you mean.
A void of death that's all around you, and you only thing between you and the endless void is like some feeble man-made thing.
See, I personally, I would find that quite exciting. Like, it's like almost like a voyage of discovery for me, and that would. I wouldn't worry too much about like.
I suppose it depends how well crafted the whole situation was. Like if we were in Star Trek, that situation was exciting to me.
If I was up there and it was literally like a bucket and it was rattling, then maybe you'd get a different scenario.
Yeah. But no, kind of like
as long as it's relatively well made, I wouldn't worry.
because I mean, funny enough, when you
Worst comes to worst, what happens? Like you get a breach, you die very quickly. It's not like you're gonna spend ages like.
yeah, but it's like you're always on pressure because you could always have something go wrong, and it's just a void out there as well. Like it's just the lack of anything there.
Plus, if oxygen runs out, you're fucked.
You're only fucked for a very short amount of time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I can't imagine it'd be present though. Like I don't know, like that void. The idea of the void is quite scary to me.
Personally, to me, like my own view is that you're just as likely to die down here.
I guess so, but it's more there's a crushing. You've got the planet as like a anchor down here. It's the fact that you're in just a void where there's no real anchorage to your life. Like the only thing between you and your life is something constructed. It's not like anything natural.
I mean, I suppose to be fair, like obviously links into the whole thing of your being afraid of death, whereas I'm not really afraid of death.
Well, it's also the void of it all, the endlessness of it. I do find that the endless expanse kind of scary.
It's like a very specific version of agoraphobia.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, nothing. It's not like soul crushingly scary. Not many things. I don't have phobias per se. Like I say, like death's not a phobia. It's a irrational fear, but it's like, you know, the ever expanding thing. In a scenario where someone's describing it, to me it's like, oof, it gives me a bit of a chill when you really think about it, if any kind of heavy thought process.
It's okay. Luckily, you guys avoided my phobia I mentioned just now.
Oh, I know. No, speak up. Speak up unless it's not PC.
No.
I don't think it caught on the recording.
Ben has a phobia of bananas.
Bananas, so he's kind of like a cat.
I don't have a phobia of bananas. I have a phobia of open bananas.
Is this a phobia or a disgust?
Well, I can't be in the same room as an open banana.
But that's the smell, though, right? You're not fearing for yourself.
It's the whole idea of it and the texture and everything. It's just like
He says he has a fear that spiders are all going to crawl out when I open a banana.
Oh man, that's a thing.
I do have a phobia of spiders coming out of bananas, but the texture horrifies me.
I have a texture phobia.
Watching people open them disgusts me, like with all the kind of the stringy bits that kind of pull out of it and stuff. And the fact that whenever they've gone off, they turn into a brown goo.
Do you like cheese strings?
I love cheese strings.
They've got
That's
the
not the same
stringy
kind of thing. Are you trying a pepper?
It's supposed to be a banana.
That's not a good banana cover.
It's supposed to be rotty and like split open, like you don't like.
Yeah, no, like it just freaks the shit out of me.
I mean, he's not the only one I know, because my brother actually has a huge phobia of bananas as well.
What?
Really weird.
It's a strange
really
one.
weird. When I was a kid, I ate bananas as well.
It's almost as if something happened at some point in Ben's life that he's blocked out that involved a
A
banana.
great banana
It's okay
disaster.
though, because when I was a kid, I hated mushrooms, and now I think they're amazing.
Ugh, mushrooms. Ugh.
Mushrooms are good.
There's nothing wrong with
No.
mushrooms.
Mushrooms are
Um,
good.
Mushrooms are the best.
Kind of
You're wrong.
going on the texture thing. I do. There's something that I think I saw something when I was younger, and I think I brought it up in a different conversation. But like having growths freaks me out. Like when I see it in fiction and when I like imagine it, that freaks me out. Like having things grow off your skin, like foreign bacteria making like that sort of thing.
I get that.
That creeps me out. Whenever I see
Oh,
that
yeah,
in films.
like ticks. Ticks fucking are disgusting.
Not just that, but like, you know, like just foreign things on your body and like kind of, I don't know, things falling off your body and like growing into them and making like extra like eyeballs and stuff like that. Kind of the God, what's the Cthulhu thing? The person who wrote the Cthulhu.
Oh,
stuff.
H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, Lovecraftian horror, where it's like that tentacle disgustingness.
I mean, I saw a picture the other day on Facebook of like a caterpillar who had like these wasps growing out of it, and that horrified me.
Oh, is that
It was like
One
split
that lays
open,
eggs
with
inside
tubes
them.
coming out that wasps were coming out of.
Nice.
the one that, like,
Apparently, like wasps like lay their eggs inside caterpillars and then they grow.
Do you know
out.
what? It might be a little bit like The Thing. Do you know the film?
Yeah.
Yeah, The
The
Thing. Because
I don't think I've seen it though.
James
No, I
Carter's
haven't
The
seen
Thing.
it either.
Because that's about an alien that like mutates people, and turns them like into like spider creatures. Got a lot of claymation, but I love that film and I think it looks cool. I don't get quite the same sensation. I think it's like a physical thing, like something where it's not in fiction. Like if you had like something on your body that's not meant to be there, that freaks me out.
I mean, there was an episode of like Star Trek I watched recently, which had a very similar thing where like these people were like being turned into other creatures, like almost like their whole DNA was being restructured.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. I really like
It's
it.
like
Fiction.
it's like these things bred by turning other people into them.
That's awful.
I mean, I like it in fiction, in sense of like reading about it, but like the idea of experience that really shows shiver down was fine. But I like being scared though, so that's the difference. Whereas I know, like, not everyone enjoys it. I mean, that's the thing. I enjoy being spooky scared.
No, I don't enjoy it whatsoever.
I find being scared quite thrilling.
Yeah, like I like roller coasters.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't like roller coasters, so
Yeah, poor Kim. Disney World, you boys were quite mean to get her onto
We
a runway
weren't
train.
mean.
Why are you mean? Oh no, that's just kids. Don't worry about that.
Why is the death coming after this?
It's okay. She enjoyed it really.
no, I didn't. But lesson learned.
Do not trust men. That is the lesson here.
Never watched that one Far Destination film where there's like a roller coaster death.
Oh, I hate that. Well, I hate it.
I mean, Far Destination's great.
I found that one great.
See, I've got a weird phobia of roller coasters going wrong, but it's never happened, obviously, to me. But if a roller coaster goes wrong, I just horrible. I feel like what happened with the Smiler a few years ago.
The Smiler?
You know, at Alton Towers.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to know.
The ride smashed a bunch of like teenagers' legs apart.
Yeah,
Oh.
that was complete people error, though. That was.
They didn't maintain it properly.
No, there was a cart on the track which stopped, and then they sent the next load of people into the car.
Yeah, they're basically a warning light came on, but rather than checking the track and anything, they just went, it's fine, and just allowed the next coaster to go.
It'll be fine.
I think it was something like they counted the amount of carriages, one had been added, and then they counted to the original number, rather than fully checking everything.
So
Human errors of fear.
the people who were in the front of the carriage that slammed into it, 2 of the girls lost their legs.
Oh, the fear of human error.
You don't remember this, Carl?
I don't remember hearing about it now. Maybe I heard it by a whisper and I was like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, it was like a really big thing, so they always had to close the park for a while.
They probably should have closed the park for a while.
No, as in not just while they got rid of the.
I mean, they probably should have been shut down. Quite
Well,
honestly.
the Smile was closed for over a year, wasn't it?
I mean, the Smile is open again.
It's now open again, yeah.
Because they closed the Saw ride as well for a while.
Oh, because it was made by the same people.
Man, I love Saw.
I love Saw the ride.
Yeah.
But that's completely error, not roller coaster.
I suppose that comes down to things being out of your control. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Some people have massive phobias of not losing control of things.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is for me with roller coasters. I mean, there's also the whole obviously not like not wanting to be afraid, but with stuff like that, it is about control. Like, I'm not even a very good passenger in a car anymore since I've learnt to drive.
And you're an aggressive driver as well.
I feel like I'm.
Please.
I feel like I'm overly chilled because
I'm pretty sure you haven't been in enough people's cars to call me aggressive.
You do get turned aggressive when you're angry in your car, Kim.
I mean, there's road rage and then there's driving aggressively. Anyone that says they don't get road rage is lying.
Losing control. I had something, now I've lost it. You guys keep going.
What about of Kim's driving?
No, something to do with losing control. I've forgotten now though. You keep going.
Okay. My biggest fear, in a nutshell, is big spiders. I mean, I could deal with small spiders and I can get rid of them, but any chunky motherfuckers, I will not go near.
Which is why I don't understand why you watched Arachnophobia the other.
Because it's on the screen. That's not a spider in front of me.
Oh, all it does is make my skin crawl, and then I just imagine the spiders are there. And then I sit there in bed, and then it feels like there's spiders on me.
So
Like,
is
I don't want
the
this
fear
feeling.
is the fear proportional to the size?
It's.
Yes.
I mean, tiny spiders. They're fine to stay in our flat. They can stay here, but as long as they don't grow too big.
I mean, spiders
Big
are good for
spiders are
things.
horrible.
I don't know. I think spiders are less scary the bigger they are. I mean, I don't have much
Oh,
of a fear
they're
of small
they're
spiders.
way more scary to me. I don't mind little tiny ones running.
I mean, I'm not scared of spiders, to be perfectly frank. But I feel like the sensation that I might lose them is probably scarier. That like it's like, oh god, I don't know where it's gone. It might have gone up my ear.
Where's it gone?
That comes down to the body horror stuff, which is that's the word for the
Just
growth
talking
thing.
about them is making me feel like
Yeah.
there's spiders on me.
Because but that again is it's associated with the body horror stuff. Because that's the stuff that freaks me out. Is like body horror mutation. Gore, not necessarily. I don't know why. I think I'm just super desensitized from
I
fiction.
really like gore. I mean, I know
I love
that's
gore.
probably weird, but
I love gore in film, but not real gore in real life. Like if someone like banged their head and blood was there, I wouldn't like that. I just like it in films because I know it's fake.
Yeah, I think there's a dissociation for it, but I don't have really a problem with real life either. Like, I've done first aid on people with like quite a bit of gore, so.
I mean, when I was a kid and I used to go out with my dad when he was at work. I mean, I've seen a person with no head, so.
Oh,
Jesus
I
Christ!
don't want to talk
What the
about
fuck?
We went past like this accident where some car had hit a lamppost. The lamppost had fallen down, gone through the window of the car behind, and smashed the entire person's head off.
What the fuck?
And this,
Jesus.
boys and girls, is why Ben is fucked up.
So,
I mean-
so yeah, you and there was still a row of traffic going past, and you could quite clearly see this person had no head.
that.
Oh my god! Why did they not block this off? Why were you allowed anywhere near the scene?
They
Actually,
probably
I
couldn't
think
close
it
the road.
happened, but
They probably
Yeah.
couldn't close the road, to be honest. But yeah, I've seen stuff, but I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah, the idea of that doesn't really freak me out quite as much. I don't know why.
so like it's not really like bothered me particularly since, because it's like, well, I've seen something worse than most of these things.
And then there was
Although you freak out when moth flies around after.
Yeah, fucking moths. I don't like moths.
I
don't
mean,
like shit flying in my
there's
face.
definitely a
It's
disconnect
gonna
in
go in my
film.
eye or something.
Speaking of like losing control of things, have you ever seen the film Upgrade?
No.
Because that's about like a person that gets paralyzed from the neck down and gets like a chip put into his body to control his nervous system and allows him to walk around. And at one point, it can like take control of his body. I mean, would that freak people out? Because that's kind of like
Yes.
the perversion of technology,
Mm.
like being able to see out your body but not control its actions, like manipulation like that.
Yeah, that I wouldn't like that.
I mean, that reminds me of like there's like a Metallica song. I can't think of the name of it right now. And in the video, it's a guy who's like lost both arms and both legs and can't speak. And it's
Oh.
just literally like laying there wanting them to kill him, and he can't do anything.
Paralyzation is pretty scary.
Yeah, I mean, like if you have any of you watched that film about Stephen Hawking? Like, theory is everything. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, bless him. He goes through quite a journey.
I know. See, this is the thing. It's like I'd rather be paralyzed than dead.
Oh god, no! I'd rather be dead.
Wow.
I mean, at least I
Two
could.
very different opinions, right?
No, I
here.
mean, at least I could still, consume things and like enjoy aspects of life.
No, that feeds back into control for me. If I can't have control of my life the way I want it to, then I would just have no investment in this life anymore.
You should check out. Oh, it's a bit gory actually because you don't do well with gore, do you? So yeah, I was gonna say check out Upgrade because that does the same sort of thing. I love Upgrade. I thought it was an amazing film because it's about that. It's kind of sci-fi though. So we what about sci-fi horror? Are people scared of robots?
Not overly. Not robots.
No.
Not particularly. I don't think. No.
So then either AIs aren't a thing. for everybody. They're happy for robot overlords to take over.
I'm not saying I'd be completely happy about it, but it's not a particular fear, say, compared to zombies.
I don't worry about it. I mean, I welcome our robot overlords.
That song was The One, by the way.
Oh, the Metallica song.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I really get like a big kick out of those fantasies where the people have like loops, like death loops, and are immortal and stuff like that. So I know.
It's your birthday. Now you gotta pick up the phone.
Yeah, I like Happy Death Day too. I think it's
I was
fascinating.
about to say, isn't that Happy Death Day?
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
I wish they had done a bit more with Happy Death Day 2, but I liked Happy Death Day 1 a lot.
I just like the fact it changes genre as you go through.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wanted it to be like a horror through and through, but then it was more of a sci-fi, the second one, wasn't
It's like, first one, horror, second one, sci-fi. What's the next one going to be?
it? Next one's going to be a happy-go-lucky adventure.
Starring Adam Sandler.
What
Or Rob
about
Schneider?
what about ghosts?
I do have an irrational fear of ghosts. But, I mean, I've never seen one, but I've definitely felt the ghost's presence. If you know what I mean.
No.
I've got so used to feeling like there's ghosts that they don't scare me.
Well, I know what you mean, but I've never felt it, so I could possibly know.
I don't know. There's been a couple of places I've been in my life where you have a really strange feeling that you're not alone. But
It's that
I
whole
don't know.
lingering emotions thing. Lingering emotions, like The Grudge.
well, I just can't really describe the feeling you get.
It's
But-
paranormal, isn't it? It's one of those things.
Yeah.
So,
I felt like I was like a lot like they've been around, but I've never really felt like any particular threat from any. It's just a little bit creepy thinking about it that there's something else there.
Mm.
that comes down to the fear of the unknown kind of stuff.
Ghost horror films are my favourite genre of horror. Like, I
Do they scare you, or is it just kind of jumpy scary?
First time I see them, they do. Like, for example, back in the day when I went to see The Grudge in the cinema, me and my
Grudgy.
mates left it. We went to a cash point, and then suddenly my friend Kevin came up behind me and just went.
Yeah, but that
And
sounds
it
like
literally
a
made me
remember
hero.
shit myself.
See, it's funny because that kind of thing doesn't scare me, whereas like Paranormal Activity creeps the shit out of me.
A door moved.
Because
Woo!
I'm just constantly now expecting these things to happen to me because it's much more realistic.
I find it more fascinating than scary. I'm not the best for being like, this thing horrifies me, but like certain, I think sensations scare me more than anything. But I know I don't get it a lot in horror ghost films, but in horror games, like games where you're kind of searching for like mysteries and that kind of thing, they freak me out because you're having to actually go around and do it, so that the sensation of that's kind of creepy as hell.
Mm.
Like I really like the Silent
What
Hill
about jump
games.
scares?
What?
What about jump scares?
Jump scares make me laugh. I don't.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
I mean, because when I have jump scares things, I'll be in a film. When I was a kid, I used to hate them, and then as I got older, and like I started getting really into them, and so when you get like a jump scare in something, I just end up going like instead of like jumping, because it's almost like you shocked your body. It's almost like it's almost like someone tickles you, and you're just like, ugh. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I know
it's like
people hate it.
YouTube videos that people do annoy me, but then like when they use them in games, I really enjoy them.
What do you mean? As in like YouTube videos where someone is
You know,
doing
like
a
when
jump
they're
scare?
like watching something, and then at the end,
Oh, the Screamer stuff back in the day. Yeah, I think maybe that's what put me off it as a kid, but when I start seeing it in fiction, I got back into it.
it's
So
just like,
Five Nights at Freddy's wasn't really a scare factor for you then?
not
Like,
really.
I
'cause
mean,
that's all that is jump scares.
it scared me to begin with, but then it kind of just got a bit.
I was way more
Same.
interested in the lore than I was about the jump scares.
That's a perversion of technology as well, to be fair. So like,
Mm.
there's that kind of like count as technology being perverse. It's the paranormal stuff that's scary in that, though, isn't it? It's not. It's not
Again, that's ghost children, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, the paranormal things being haunted. The robot side of it isn't really the scary stuff, even though that's probably the big part of the genre.
Tell you what is scary is clowns.
Oh yeah, clowns.
Thank you, Tim Curry.
I have absolutely no problems with clowns,
Me
except
either.
for when you're at the circus and they want you to come on the stage. But that's because I'm scared of the stage.
That's performance anxiety, though.
Yeah.
No,
I mean-
I can't stand them.
I love a good creepy clown.
I have absolutely no problem with clowns. I think I've said this before, but if I didn't go down the route of doing animation, I would have gone and learned how to be a clown and be a performing clown.
I can kind of imagine you as a clown.
Goodbye, Carl.
But I like as a performer, like a comedy performer, because I like the idea of it, and you get a lot of interesting body language. When I was studying animation, we actually had a professional clown come in and talk about body language to kind of help learn the emphasizations and stuff, because that's what kind of stuff they go about doing. But I can see that it's because they're abnormal. They're almost like human dolls, aren't they?
Yeah. If I was in that class and he came in his outfit, I'd be like, no, I'm out. I'm sorry.
He wasn't in an outfit. He just came in and he did like fake pratfalls and kind of like double takes and stuff like that. Like the over exaggerated movement is why he was showing us. Because that's what clowns do. They do like silly. They're basically like human cartoon characters. Is what they're trying to be. And I can get why that's creepy because they're all in makeup. They look like dolls, and dolls are scary. So
yeah, that's just why we couldn't go on the Chaos Carnival at the Universal Horror Nights.
I will not go in a place with scary clowns.
They jump out at you as well.
This is the thing. Like that's something that I think society's done where they've made clowns scary because of our overexposure to them as being scary. Where they didn't used to be that way. They used to just be silly thing. It's like someone just in a costume, honestly. Like,
but you love it.
I do love it.
But you find the clown scary, though, right?
Great, yeah.
You like it because it's scary, though, right?
Yeah, I just like it because it's a horror film. I wouldn't want to come across Pennywise in real life.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no.
But this Bill Skarsgård guy, he's so sexy.
He is quite sexy, but he is terrifying as the clown.
Hey, Georgie.
To be fair, I'm not sure I've ever seen him in anything else.
I don't know. Let's say normal clowns aren't a bother to me. When they're like going around, they're like alien morphing clowns. I get the scare factor of it though. What about dolls?
No, they're creepy as fuck.
Is it the same? Is it the same thing?
I just find most like ceramic dolls really ugly. It's not so much that I'm scared.
Old classic ceramic baby dolls can be quite creepy.
I like dolls.
But that's only really because you see them in like things as like coming alive.
Yeah.
I just think they're ugly.
I like dolls. I don't know. I like the aesthetic of it, like the ball joints and stuff like that.
Like my ball jointed doll.
Yeah, but like your old classic ceramic ones don't have ball joints, really.
They don't. But I do still like the kind of aesthetic of it. I guess it's because they're soulless incarnations of humans.
It's usually eyes of them. The eyes are just so unrealistic that it's just like, ugh.
I usually think it's the opposite. I usually think they're creepy because of the eyes being the most realistic thing on them. That they look watery and they look real, and then inside these plastic things. I think that's probably. I would have thought that would be the scary part of them.
Yeah, I guess it's more unnerving rather than a full-out fear.
Like I said, I just think that they're disgusting. I don't actually think like they're scary.
They're disgusting.
You think Lucy's disgusting?
She's not an old ceramic doll.
Oh, okay.
Disgusting.
No, it's like those dirty old ones with the massive cheeks and stuff.
Oh, okay.
With freaky noses and stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind the ones like Lucy, but yeah, I agree with Ben. It's like the old-fashioned China ones.
The ones where it's like China head and like hands with like the weird kind of sack in between as well.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be soft in the centre because they're like baby.
And it's also all the images you get of like the ones with the heads like broken and like half a
And
head
twisting
shit.
around. It's like that baby off Toy Story, you know, where like Sid's turned
Oh.
into like the creepy spider
Oh,
thing. That's
God.
like the personification of the things you hate. It's a
Yeah,
spider
that
and a
baby.
doll head.
That baby was creepy.
Yeah, I hated that.
Sid, come out to play.
Like I say, to me they're a lot more creepy though when they've been like broken as well. Then you've got like half a head and stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Especially when the eyes are still there.
Any other weird outlier stuff you can think of, like things that aren't normally scary? Because they say like it's interesting. I don't necessarily know if the growth thing, like the body horror stuff, makes everyone scary, but I know that's a thing. And the same with the depths of space. I suppose it's like the ocean as well. Like that, the ocean doesn't scare me though because it feels like it has restraints on it, like gravity, and it moves and stuff like that, and you can float on it. Whereas in space, there's almost no restraints, and that's the thing that scares me is the nothingness of it. Like it's just an expanse. Any other weird, bizarre ones that you guys can think of?
I mean, it's not bizarre, but I mean, I'm scared of pitch black.
Like it being dark without any sort of indication of shade or anything like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's it sounds like you've got a lot of fears of the unknown there in that sense. But yeah, being in the pitch black, that never bothered me. I've never been a big scared of dark. I mean, I was when I was very, very young. I used to be like freaked out when I couldn't see
the only times I
anything.
like it when it's dark is like at this time of year when it's like dark at like 4 in the afternoon.
I find it's easier to sleep the darker it is nowadays. Might just be a thing of getting old. My eyelids are getting thinner.
Even when I'm sleeping, like I like to still have like the curtains open so there's at least a vagary of light in there.
No, I get it. Like, there's a lot of people that have that have phobias of the dark, and heights. Oh yeah, anyone got fear of heights?
Not me. I know our friend Martin does.
Martin does.
My mom has a deadly fear of heights.
And Chris.
Yeah, but Chris, I think, is probably scared of like a lot of things. Like I say, I would pull out his list, but I don't feel
Chris.
like it. I'd pull out his list of about 10 million things, but I don't feel like it.
Going up the towers with them is good.
Yeah, my mom has a deadly fear of heights. She's also scared of other people being on edges. Like, I remember we went to the Eiffel Tower, and I kind of when I was young, and I ran straight over to the edge to like look over the edge. Obviously, there's barriers and stuff. But as soon as I started walking towards it, my mom grabbed me and like hurt my arm because she was so scared of me going near the edge. And it was one of those things of like it. She knew it was safe, but just the idea of me being near that edge scared the hell out of her. And obviously, it's empathy because she would be scared to be on the edge, but it didn't bother me in the slightest.
Well, it's a mixture of evolutionary fears that obviously aren't the easiest thing to get over, plus maternal instincts. That's going to be a hell of a drive.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could say, oh, it's because of, heights mean you die, but I don't know.
It's hard to convince your brain of not to be afraid of things that used to be a serious threat, obviously like thousands of years ago.
I mean, I think heights are going to be a threat to an individual forever. I don't know why, like, you really should be scared of them. I'm probably more psychotic not to be scared of them. Quite honestly.
I mean, I quite enjoy heights. I love going up in all these towers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Laying on the glass floors and stuff.
There was something freeing about it, I found. But I could understand the fear of it as well.
I wouldn't say it's a full-blown phobia, but I do feel like anxious if I'm really up high on an edge.
Any other outliers?
Can't really think of any for me, apart from obviously zombies, because it's silly to be so scared of something that's not real.
I mean, I don't like things going
things
in
are
my
real.
eyes. That's a phobia.
Oh, eye horror.
Oh yeah, I don't like things in eyes.
Never watched that Dali film where it's got a scene where a person gets their eye cut.
Ooh.
It's like a Dali
No.
surrealist film, and this person gets a razor blade to their eye, and they've got like a fake
Oh!
eye, and it's disgusting.
Ooh.
No. See,
No, I don't like that stuff like that either.
No, I
my
don't
dad
like.
had to have an operation on his eyes, and he had to stay awake. And it basically just sounds like a saw trap to me, having an injection come near to your
Oh,
eye.
it-
I would not stay still.
Oh, that scene
No.
of Final Destination where a person's getting laser eye treatment and it all goes wrong.
Uh,
I mean, I can just touch my eyeballs, so.
I can't even.
No,
watch
no,
Yeah,
no.
I know
I can't
people who
watch
don't
it.
like it. I
I
don't
do not like things going near eyes.
like it.
I don't like it.
So that doesn't bother
Oh,
me either.
My granddad's had cataract surgery, and he said, "Oh yeah, it's fine." And I'm like, "No, just no."
I mean, if I ever had to have an operation done on my eyes, I would insist upon being put to sleep.
I mean, anything that's to do with eyes, you can't be asleep while they do it.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going blind. I am not having an operation of my injection going near my
Well,
eyes.
yeah. I know someone who got laser eye surgery, and they were like saying like it was like a year of bad comfort, and then he didn't have to wear glasses again. So it depends how you are with short-term anxiety to long-term anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it recently,
It's expensive though.
but yeah.
Hmm.
But then I do look like a criminal without my glasses, so
You look like a criminal.
because I have dark pitted eyes.
He looks like he's a raccoon.
The coon.
The coon.
No, not the coon.
The coon. I think Ben could cosplay as the coon.
No.
No, he says. I think that's all the kind of horror stance stuff I can really think of in the stuff that bothers me. I knew I would be kind of pulling from fiction a lot because, like I say, my fears are a lot of my fears are very rational. But
What about murderous cars?
murderous cars? Oh, jeez. You mean like Nitro Overdrive? Yeah. I mean, that's one apocalypse that I would think was quite hilarious. That would be the tragedy, wouldn't it? We all prepare for the zombie apocalypse, and then we get a really weird one that is
Yeah,
just
like-
funny.
Maximum Overdrive happens, and you're like, oh.
Man-eating penguins. It's adorable but horrific. Or like oxygen.
Sentient cod.
We run out of oxygen. Not much you can do about that.
No.
The planet literally just runs out of oxygen. Well, that global warming thing finally
A
happens.
wizard comes along and turns everyone into snakes.
Oh, yeah. And we can have this snake Terminators. What about time travel? I know a few people who get freaked out by time travel. The idea that you're changing your past in like a horrific way.
I've never really thought about time travel, to be honest.
It's a bit too abstract, isn't it? At least you can.
Time travel. All I think about is like winning the lottery.
Yeah. Whereas, I mean, at least with space, you can kind of envision space because we've seen it and it's a reality. Because I like psychological thrillers an awful lot. Because I wonder if some of the spooky, scary stuff that I like comes from my fears I used to have, and I've kind of just become interested in them. Because that happens a lot. Things that I usually when I get like freaked out by something, I'll want to learn more about it.
Fair enough.
I mean, like I really like Silent Hill, for example. I like
I love
this.
the film.
Yeah, I like. I love the Silent Hill 2 a lot, and it's one of those series where it's all about the guy having an almost mind trip, and the town kind of like messing with him and showing him horrors based on his inner turmoils. So that's what that one's about. The other Silent Hills aren't exactly the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to meet Pyramid Head.
I mean, you wouldn't, because that's James's horror.
Yeah. Or anything like that, anyway. Just don't avoid Silent Hill. It's probably a good idea.
Probably the best thing to do, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get raped by some kind of demon and then like be beheaded and put on spikes. And these are things that we don't want in our lives.
No.
Well, the whole point of Silent Hill is it's the first ones are about like demon cults and the devil. I mean, I suppose there's religious fears out there. I don't think any of us have those. I think we're all quite non-religious. So.
Are any of us even religious in our group?
No, I've gone through religions, but like not particularly now.
Like, so you basically you're talking about like the fear of like the consequences of sin.
Yeah. The fear of hell as well. Like.
Hell seems like more of a fun thing than heaven.
It's an interesting concept.
Stop being edgy.
I mean, hell will be all your worst things. So everything you've just listed that horrifies you and you don't like, hell will just be that. So it'll just be eternity of eye touching.
You'll be forever crashing off of roller coasters into giant spiders.
Yeah. Or you'll forever be stuck to a chair while someone touches your eyes.
Ah!
Ugh.
In fact, you'll be forever stuck on a chair on an out of control roller coaster
Wow.
while spiders touch your eyes.
Yeah, think about it. In heaven, you'd never have to worry about these things.
I thought the hell was just more of a big party with the demons and lava.
It's
and
okay.
stuff.
Just remember the spiders touching your eyes. It'll do you good.
Spiders crawling out of your eyes, laying eggs in them. That's more body horror stuff. I could go into like social horrors, but I think that's another well. Like I was generally scared in the film 1984, like that the Big Brother, you're completely oppressed by an overlord. That's kind of scary. That's kind of losing control again. There's that sort of fear where you're not. You haven't got
Boris is
personal
our
agent.
overlord.
What is Johnson?
But yeah, it's losing control, I suppose, is the that fear again. It all ties into that, like losing your liberties is the same thing. So this is what hell would look like.
I mean, it looks pretty cool, really. Is that supposed to be Ben on the far left, by the way?
Yeah,
He's killing zombies. Because you're alright with it, because you're like, I totally get on board with this and start killing zombies.
Oh, cool. So I'm there to defeat things, rather.
The guy out of Doom now?
I'm here to defeat things until I get
Rip
like
and
2
tear.
minutes and I see that banana and then I have to leave.
Yeah. You'll get so far. Any fears of fire?
No.
Nah, fire's cool.
Fire, cool.
I like it how it crackles and stuff. Yeah.
No one's fears of fire or water? Like, no one's got fear of swimming?
I love water.
They're the other big ones, aren't they?
I mean, I've got this thing about like, I often think about like, oh man, this is a fire. What would I say? What would I ram into my bag on the way out?
What would you save on the world?
Yes, you're fine, Jem. I've put the hamster in my bag. Okay.
You're fine, Jem. I'd put you in my bag.
I would save Hammy Bell. And then...
And Lucy.
and
Fear the apocalypse. That's the apocalypse all over again. I wouldn't want a Quiet Place apocalypse. That would be boring. If I could want one thing from the apocalypse, is that it wouldn't be boring.
Oh my god.
Have a bit of fun before you die, yeah?
That's the actual my biggest fear, the fear of being bored. Like, that would be the thing. I would live forever, but if it was boring, I would be like, oh, I regret this instantly.
Like that Twilight Zone episode with the guy that loses his glasses so he can't read.
Yeah, but he was a wimp, man. He could have done other things. It was only because he was a compulsive obsessive about books. I
don't know. If we had the apocalypse, I think I'd just be happy if it wasn't human eating whatever it is.
If we had the apocalypse, it'd be all these things. What if there were zombie clouds?
What, like oh god, what's it called? Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, zombie clowns with spiders coming out their eyes.
Oh God.
What if
And
what
body
if
horror.
countries became zombies?
Yeah.
What if what becomes zombies?
Just the countries themselves become zombified somehow.
You mean like the Earth?
Like the ground starts like pulsing and like they gain like sense.
Oh my word, that's awful.
It's the body horror stuff where they turn into like tentacle penis armed monsters.
Oh god.
Sure, this isn't your kink.
No.
I was about to say this is probably some people's kink.
No. I'll save that for when I spend 3 hours talking about Legend of the Overfiend on my 3x3 of hentai.
By yourself.
Legend of the Overfiend is great. I think we talked about a lot of spooky scary. I think I'm good.
Yeah. I've done a little collage. I think it's cool.
I was just like, I don't know what to put in the background of this one, so I'm just going to doodle. As we go
No,
along.
it's really good.
Alright.
Alright.
Thanks for joining. We're all done with this one. Don't know what's going to be next week, but happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Have a horrifying time.
Aha!